I don't know where I was. Anyways, yeah. So anyways, he lives in Minnesota and I'm gonna try to visit in November. He's gonna help me get there. It's only 8 hours away. So yeah. It's another thing forced and everything or anything, like, I don't know. It's just, yeah. It's pretty awesome, but also, so I've seen myself, like, in the past I could have got triggered because when you're in the process of figuring out in the beginning, figuring out somebody's, like, their energy and stuff, that can be triggering because it can feel awkward because you're still getting the feel of them. If you're not healed enough, I guess, like, it can be triggering, but it's not, like, I've been able to switch and be like, actually, that makes sense. I'm still getting the hang of the person, and that doesn't mean they don't care, or whatever, like, it's funny because we're both Virgo moons, so we probably have that emotional understanding of each other, too, and that same type of fucking autistic weirdness. So, yeah. But anyways, back to what I was talking about, I guess. I don't know. So that's who when I'm video chatting, that's who I'm posting on here. I think the first time we video chatted, when I was talking about when I found $10, I think that was the very first time we video chatted, and it was like 5 hours and 15 minutes. Took him on my walk, and like he would stay, when I would walk at night, he would stay on the video chat to make sure I got home. That was when I found the $10 on the ground. Like, that's crazy. This kitty has actually started giving me, like, the oxytocin release. And she was, like, down at my feet, like, nibbling and just, like, rubbing against my feet. So I guess now there's 2 cats that release the oxytocin, or the warm fuzzies chemical, like when somebody's rubbing your back or playing with your hair. My throat is trying to clear out what I was breathing in at my godmom's. I mean, it was nice because I was sleeping. I mean, it was nice being around her and my mom, and it was nice. There are some people that were there for us, like, and my uncle and my nephew's mom paid for the services, which I'm we're grateful for that. The GoFundMe is just for, like, extra bills that might pop up, or, like, stuff for, like, I don't know, just stuff like that, just to make sure that we make it, you know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah. My brother's ex did make her own GoFundMe, but we did have issues with my nephew's mom, even though, like, for years we were all fine, but it's because of his ex-girlfriend. And also just, it was just a mess. But now, like, I was the mediator to, like, I reached out to her because we wanted to see him, and so, like, now, like, it's going better. Like, we've all put all that shit behind us, and we have, like, understandings of, like, why she had to, distance herself and shit like that. And it's like, I understand, especially, like, I get it. You gotta do what you gotta do to protect your kids and yourself. So it is what it is, but I'm just glad that, she understands that we don't want nothing to do with his fucking ex, and she thought we were all, like, friends with her and stuff. It's like, nope. But it sucks sometimes that it takes a death for all this stuff to, get put to rest, but it is, it is what it is. And of course I have my regrets, like, well, I should have just moved in the house with him and my mom, and then maybe this wouldn't happen, but then how do you know? You probably would have, and I don't know. And then there was a time, like, several months ago that he was like, why don't you and I get a place in Lincoln? And, like, I was nervous about that, but I'm like, maybe I should have done that. Maybe it would have been better for him and I both, because if he got out of this fucking town. But at the same time, it just wasn't, it happened the way, I don't know. You can't change it. You can't go back and change it. And I think also, I was channeling or, like, feeling his emotions, like, right, like, the next day or that night. I'm not sure what it was, but I was like, I feel so, there's no fucking way out, like, so I just feel like, and I think he does communicate in songs sometimes. It's a little harder to connect, because he did fight a lot of demons in his life, you know. I just really hope he finds peace now, but I don't know yet, for sure. When we did go the first day to talk to the detective and all that stuff, like where he was staying, I need to let the people know that where he's staying with about the services, I guess. But also, when we were all talking, there was a butterfly flying around really close to us, and I was like, maybe that's a sign, you know, like, he wasn't religious, but he was, like, very open to the wicked ways of the world, like how, like he was awake to that stuff, like the conspiracies and, like, ancient aliens. The light flickered, did you see that? And all that, so I'm like trying to tell him, maybe, I'll be trying to connect. It's like, I'm not afraid of my gifts as much as I used to be, so you can literally just show yourself if you can, right in front of me, like. It was like, I guess, like, he told my mom that he didn't like me walking at night, like, well, later, I think, because he didn't want nothing to happen to me. And I was like, thinking, wait, he didn't tell me that, but then I was reminded, yeah, he did. One time he saw me when he was driving his truck, I was almost to the park, and I had been walking actually down East Side Boulevard instead of, like, straight down California Street, which I don't walk down California Street to go to the park, but because I completely skipped 7th, because I don't want to walk by her house. But anyways, he saw me and was like, what are you doing? Where are you going? Because when my mom had to go to work when I was, like, after my grandma died, and her ex just would go and come home and go right to his room, my brother would have to take care of me. He would make sure I'd eat and make sure I'd get up in time for school and take a shower when I needed to, and so he took care of me. And so, like, he was just still protective, but he was fighting his own shit, you know. It just sucks. And I know I look all put together because, like, this, better than I have been, but it's still painful. The other night, the last time I cried,